If you're going to quit the minute times get tough, don't start.
Would you ever be interested in doing a boxing match with any other property mentor or any other mentor?
I get people message me and they're like, Alasdair, I really want you to teach me business and property. I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm like, great, be on the call at 10 o'clock and they're still in bed. It's like, what? Are you a dumb fuck?
Do you agree with where, I think Grant Cardone says it, where he says that help yourself first, then help others?
I'm not emotional about money in any way, shape or form. Even when I was broke, I was never emotional about money. You can literally ask me anything, man.
Really?
Yeah.
What about if I ask you anything about... See, one of the biggest things that people don't do is think. You have to take ownership of your life. Welcome back to my channel where we discuss property, business, lifestyle and well-being. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, then please hit the like and subscribe button. On today's episode, we have Alasdair Cunningham. He is a property and a business coach, mentor in UK. He has hundreds of students he has helped, and he has also created 6- and 7-figure businesses for himself. And I can't wait to chat with him today. But yeah, look, I appreciate it. Thank you for jumping on.
You can literally ask me anything, man.
Really?
I'm not gonna, I'll answer any question.
Really?
Yeah.
What about if I ask you anything about when you was with Samuel?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah. So I went to his trade in 2017 and I became his business partner in 2018. And I helped him grow that business. We grew it together.
Yeah.
So I was there from pretty much, not the very start, but when he first started running big events. So we were running big events every week.
With Samuel, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. So me and him were doing the crash courses together.
Yeah.
And then I was doing all the academy back-end events. I was doing all the training. And August 2021, we just went our separate ways.
Okay.
It was me, I terminated our partnership.
Mutually and amicably, yeah?
I've got no bugbear at all.
Yeah,
Best thing I ever done was meeting him. Best thing I ever done was parting ways with him.
Yeah.
But I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean, you've got to do your own thing, ain't you?
Sometimes time is up, isn't it?
Of course it is, mate. I believe people come into your life for a certain reason, for a period of time, for a certain point.
Yeah.
And I believe they also leave at a certain point.
Yeah, and I think your attitude is a level of excellence, so...
I focus on excellence. I focus on... well, yeah, we'll talk about it on the podcast, mate.
Yeah. We roll anyway. This is how we roll.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So I've got no issues at all with any of my relationships.
Okay. So introduce yourself. How would you introduce yourself in 2 minutes?
Okay, my name is Alasdair Cunningham. I've been in property now for about 7 years. I have been involved in over 450 property deals. I've built a nice portfolio. I've created a lot of passive income. I've created a lot of active income. I'm probably, how can I put this? From a deal sourcing point of view, because obviously I started with deal sourcing.
Yeah.
I've generated close to £2 million in deal sourcing fees in the last sort of 4 years. So I've done very well out of that. And I do a lot of public speaking. I do a lot of training, do a lot of mentoring, do a lot of guidance. I personally have spent over £120,000 on my own education. And I've actually just this morning committed to another 20,000.
I love that.
I spend a lot of money on my own personal development. I've traveled the world. I've literally, Germany, Dallas, Germany again, Spain, India. I've traveled the world learning from the best.
Yeah.
Not just about property, about everything. About PD, about me, about my mind, about my heart, about everything. And I'm not shy to invest, not at all.
Yeah, well, I think great coaches, that was going to be one of my questions as well. And since you've said that, we might as well start with that. Is that, how many coaches do you have?
Currently,
yeah,
two.
Mm-hmm. And
the thing is with coaches, right? I get asked this question a lot because I believe if you're going to coach, you need to be coached.
100%.
Because you don't know, like, it's like me, like, I know I've got weaknesses, right? My weakness is my health. Right? I've neglected massively my health over the last 5 years because what happens when you're in business, right? You're focusing on the you're focusing on the money, you're focusing on the business, growing the business. And for me, I was always more focused on building the business than building my health. So I know a weak point for me is health. So I need a coach for my health because it's not my strong point. Like I've actually got no interest in it. And that's really bad to say, but my focus is not there when I know it needs to be, because I'm now 40. Right? I was 41 last week, and
Are you 41?
yeah.
I thought you were in your 30s.
Thank you. I'll come again. Right? No. But my point being, right, is the older you get, the worse things get. And I've realized that over the last 6 months. So I need to now focus more on my health. I spend a lot of time traveling. I spend a lot of time on the road. And it's even harder to eat better on the road and to look after yourself better on the road. Sometimes I'm 3-4 nights a week in a hotel. Purely, I love it though. I wouldn't change it for the world. So yeah, I'm getting coached on that. I'm getting coached on things that you don't know what you don't know. So I don't know what they're going to teach me yet, but I just know they're better than me. And I truly believe if you're going to get a coach, they need to be doing better than you. They need to be ahead of you. Even if it's just a year in front of you, they need to be in front of where you're at. There's too many coaches out there that have attended a one-day event and suddenly they're coaching. It's like, come on, man, you've done no deals. What are you doing? It's crazy. And I've got people at the minute, like, it's funny because I've got coaches, they're promoting themselves online, like as coaches, mentors, trainers, but yet they're messaging me, asking me for help. And they're promoting themselves as trainers. They're not asking me for help from a mentoring point of view. They're asking me to sell their property deals for them because they can't. But yet online, they're promoting themselves as having the biggest database in the UK. It's like, come on, man. That makes sense.
100%. 100%. Okay, so what's been your biggest achievement so far, apart from family?
Yeah, fine.
Apart
Okay.
from kids.
So my biggest achievement is one, overcoming my limiting beliefs, because I've had massive limiting beliefs over my time, from a case of depression. Like depression I see as a limiting belief, because I believe anyone can get over depression if they want to, because it's all up in here. And that doesn't mean you're weak. I had a severe depression and it really held me back. So what I had to do was I had to put in systems and processes and a change of attitude in place in order to get over that. But when I got over it, my business exploded. And so that's a massive thing for me. Another massive achievement was hitting 7 figures, like hitting £1 million a year. Like that's a massive achievement for me. Like people don't realize that the percentage of people in the world that will ever hit 7 figures is very, very low. And it's a big thing when you hit 7 figures in a year. And it's a massive achievement. Another massive achievement is speaking on stage. Like, do you know, I've now spoken in front of tens of thousands of people. In 2 weeks' time, I'm off to Asia to speak in front of 4,000 people. And like, I never thought I'd be able to do that. If you asked me 7 years ago to speak in front of 20 people, I'd like absolutely no way. Now, put me in front of 5,000 people, I don't care. It's brilliant. And sometimes I go to these events, and because I know what I'm talking about, it's up here, I don't even need to plan what I'm going to do. Because I'm so confident on stage now, and I'm so confident in my facilitation skills that I can go on stage in front of thousands of people.
Intuition kicks in.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like if you go to the gym, you know exactly what you've got to do. You don't have to think about it.
Your subconscious, you know, right?
And that's exactly what happens. So that, like them, they're 3 big achievements for me.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So you know, you get a buzz out of it with public speaking, right?
Love it.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling. I'm telling you now, anyone watching this, if you get the opportunity to go on stage, do it. I don't care how scared you are, just do it.
Yeah. Do you have like a pre-prep where before you're about to get some nerves, do you do some jumping press-ups?
Well, so Tony Robbins does that, doesn't he? He goes on trampoline, bounces, he does the spin, and then he goes on.
You're a pro?
I'm just I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I don't tend to overthink it. I just tend to get on with it and just... I normally have, do you know what, if you speak to any of my team, right, we're getting ready for an event, we're getting the room set up, and I'll be the one messing around and having a laugh and taking them, ribbing my staff and just having a joke
and they're
around.
The nervous ones.
And they're the ones that are nervous, and I'm like, what are you nervous about? And then 5 minutes before, I'll have this mad, right, okay, what we're going to do? And I'll be like, leave me alone, I'm busy. And I'm writing just a couple of notes. But it's just like 5 minutes. It's nothing...
Amazing. Okay, so what's been your biggest regrets till today? Some things you think, I wish I'd done that differently, or do you not have any regrets?
I tend to focus on the positives, not the regrets or the negative side of things.
Okay, let's put lessons.
Yeah, lessons. You know, on my journey to where I'm at today, there's been a lot of sacrifice, a hell of a lot of sacrifice. It's cost me relationships, and I would say, yeah, that's probably one of the lessons I wish I would advise anybody. Like, just remember where you're at and where you come from. Now, I'm not saying I forgot where I come from, but it's a case of I was so focused that perhaps I didn't see what was outside of that. And that's one of the things. Maybe you need to be broader.
A bit more aware.
Yeah, a bit more aware of what maybe is being affected in your personal life when you're focusing on your business goals. So that's one lesson I would say.
But do you think that could be one of the reasons because the partner that maybe you have at the time or whoever is the entrepreneur has at the time is not on the same page as you?
Look, it could be. It could be.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when you're starting
100%.
off, you're focusing
100%.
1,000 miles an hour and they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't say that's that in my case. It's just, you know, I'm like a dog with a bone, right? If you get a dog, give them a bone, they're going for that bone no matter what happens. And that's like me. If I see something, if I see a goal, I'm going for it no matter what happens. Legally, ethically, morally. As long as I can get it legally, ethically, morally, I'm going for it. I'm not going to break the law. I'm not going to do anything that's unethical, but I'm going for it.
You're creative.
Yeah, I'll find a way to make it happen. Like my first book was called Whatever It Takes, right? And it amazes me. I get people every single day message me and they're like, Alasdair, I really want you to teach me business and property. I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm like, great, be on the call at 10 o'clock. And they're still in bed.
Yeah.
What? Are you a dumb fuck?
Yeah.
You can't even get out of bed at 10 o'clock. Come on, man. You're never going to be successful. And I literally just block them. I'm not interested. My students, you know, I've got over 150 students and they've all got the attitude of whatever it takes. And they have. They will show up because they don't become students unless they have. I'm very, very picky about who I work with.
How many books do you have now?
3.
What are they called?
So you've got Whatever It Takes was my original one. That's how I got from like starting in property. Then I got another one, it's called the 1157 Property Plan. And it's all about how one of my students, I started working with her in January last year. She had £1,157 in her bank. She finished the year with 167 grand. So she took 1157, so that's why it's called 1157 Property Plan. And it's the plan of how she got from 1,157 quid to 167,000 in 8 months.
Wow.
Her name's Ellen McDonald. She absolutely smashed it.
I know her, yeah.
And she's, I've just been speaking to her this morning, yesterday. I speak to her every single day. I'm working very closely with her. And she's just, at the minute, she's got 9 deals going through at the minute.
Amazing.
And they've all been rent-to-rent deals that she's sourced and packaged on for investors. She'll generate about 90 to 100 grand from that in the space of 3 weeks. And it's just insane. So she's doing absolutely amazing things. And I've got a book called Six-Figure Speaker. And that's a very much just a free book giveaway. And it's all about how I became a six-figure speaker, how I became a paid speaker.
Yeah.
People are paying me to go to their events and speak. And I actually turn down a lot of people that want me to speak at their events because it's more aligned to them.
It has to align with your purpose now, isn't it?
Yeah. And it doesn't interest what I do.
Well, that's what happens when you reach a certain stage. It's like, if it doesn't align with my mission or purpose, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I see you as a business and property coach from doing a little bit of a research from you, and you're a public speaker. In your opinion, what makes a great coach?
Okay, a great coach is somebody that doesn't bullshit you. Is like, you're into fitness, I know you are, all right? And I'm not as fit as you, right? So it's no point you saying, like, mollycoddling me and pandering around me and all that sort of stuff. You need to be direct with me and say, look, you're overweight. And the way you're going to lose weight is by doing X. So I think a great coach is somebody who can be direct when needed to, can be there when they need the help and need the support and sometimes need that little bit of an uplift. But somebody who's doing it. And I'm not talking about doing it 20 years ago, doing it 10 years. I'm talking about doing it now. Like somebody, if you're going to, I wouldn't go to learn how to swim from somebody that can't swim or doesn't get in the swimming pool. It's funny because I come across a YouTube video the other day and there was a guy teaching swimming from a hotel room like this, like just on the floor, doing the strokes on the floor. And it's like, get in the pool, man. Like, but it's crazy. But a good coach is somebody who's there for you. Hold on, let's define coaching and mentoring because there's a difference. Because a coach is somebody that holds you accountable.
What is the difference between a coach and mentor?
Okay, so in my opinion, a coach is somebody that holds you accountable. So if you say you're going to do it, the coach is somebody that kicks your backside to make sure you do it.
Right.
In my business, I employ 7 people. One of my top coaches and trainers is a guy called Tom Cook, and he does coaching and training, but he does mainly a lot of the coaching on a weekly basis to my students. we split our coaching into 4 weeks. So every Monday night for 4 weeks. Now, the first week is accountability. Second week is marketing. Third week is sales. Fourth week is property. I do the sales and the property coaching. Tom does the the accountability at the start of the month. Now, the accountability is all about, look, as a mentor, I will sit with you and I'll talk with you and I'll work with you and work out what you want to achieve. I'll give you some clear goals, some clear targets. I'm not going to, it's really frustrating if I've got to ring you every day and say, have you done it? And you're still in bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Tom's job is to make sure you're actually keeping on track.
Yeah, yeah.
So a coach keeps you on track to what a mentor advises you to do.
Okay. So, okay, interesting. So, coming back to it, so a great coach, that's what he basically does.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. So, what is your thoughts on the current property market?
In the sense of?
In the sense of specifically the BRR and the flips.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm doing a couple at the minute,
Yeah.
and I've had to just pull out of one because it got massively downvalued, like downvalued by 25%, which is pretty insane. That's just around the corner, actually. But yeah, so I think
in Manchester, yeah.
Yeah, Bury. Well, not 20 minutes away, Bury,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
around the corner.
Still
I'm
great
from
in Manchester,
London.
yeah, yeah.
So the current market, I think, is very volatile, but I think it's great if you're in the right position. So I'm in a good position cash-wise.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, it's great because I can plant my money. I know property's going to go up in value. Even if it plateaus for a few years, even if it dips, I know it will come back stronger because history tells us that. So I'm in a cash-rich position at the minute. So I'm actually buying multiple properties at the minute. And the reason I'm buying them cash, so I don't have to rely on lending because the interest rates are obviously higher at the minute. And the cash can just sit in there. I'm going to get more money it sat there than sat in the bank.
When you mean cash, you bridging or just your
No,
own
I'm cash. I'm buying cash. So I'm buying a block of flats this week, and that's pure cash. And I'm buying these block of flats. There's 4 flats of 40 grand a flat, £160,000. Give it a year. Well, even now in current market now, they're worth 90 grand to 100 grand a flat. So we're like nearly doubling our money. And I think the current market, if you're in the right position, it's great for you. And look at it's 2008, right? There was so many property millionaires became from 2008, but I think it was Warren Buffett said, when the masses are scared, you should be like rubbing your hands.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. But at the minute, I'm more careful in the sense of if the numbers don't stack very good, I don't do the deal. Because obviously interest rates are higher. The current market, we don't exactly know what's happening with the property prices. They keep fluctuating. However, I did see yesterday an article that says the average house price is £3,000 higher than it was this time last year. So it's a very funny time.
It's a long-term strategy, isn't it? People think they're going to be an overnight thing.
There's no such thing as overnight success, right? There's no such thing. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking that you can attend a one-day event or a 2-day event and suddenly you're going to be a millionaire next week. Wake the fuck up, man. Seriously, come on.
Okay, so talking about properties, is there any other property mentors that you respect in UK and think, you know what, they're doing a good work?
Anyone's I respect. I respect them all, man.
Okay.
Because I know that, listen, I respect them all. I don't have any issue with any other property trainer.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because for every, property gets a bad name. The property training industry gets a bad name. Because there is some out there that are not as good as the other. There is some out there that are not delivering the full picture. But I know we're only ever getting half the story. I know this from my experience. I know that when I was working with Samuel, for instance, right? Samuel, I got a lot of respect for Samuel, and I know that I used to see people having a go at him online, but I know that person, and I know Samuel, and I know that person, and I know what that person's saying is not true. But yet you only see this person's comment, and you'll assume that it's right. And it's like anything. People have too much free will to write what they want online and have no consequence. When actually reality is most of the time they're fabricating what they want to say because it's their version to get an opinion across that actually they were done over. The reality is most people aren't. So when you ask me, do I respect all property trainers? Yeah, I do, because I know that their intentions are not necessarily, their intentions are good. It's like anything. I can go and get a gym instructor, he take me to the gym, doesn't mean I'm going to get slim. Because I've got to do the work. And as I say to all of my students, meet me halfway. Think of it like a game of football. I'm going to come to the halfway line with the highest quality training and mentoring that I can give you, the best support we can give you, but you've got to come past the kick the goal box, whatever it is. I don't know football,
Yeah.
but you've got to come more than a quarter of the way. The problem is a lot of people buy into training thinking it's like I'm going to swallow this pill, I'm going to pay the money, and I'm going to be rich next month. It's not how it happens.
Work like that. Yeah.
I've got in the last 12 months, right? I know I have created at least 9 six-figure property earners, at least 9, right? From a percentage of in my first year doing property training on my own and business training on my own. I had about 45 students, so 9 out of 45 is a high percentage, and
that's like, what is it, nearly 10%, is it? Or is it
20%.
20%, yeah.
So when you think about it, right, I asked myself, what made them successful? One, great training, great coaching, great mentoring, support, right? That's half the picture. The other half's them. Because they followed everything we said.
Yep.
If you teach me how to lose weight and teach me how to do weightlifting, and I don't go and lift the weights, I'm not going to lose weight.
Yeah.
I can't then hold you to blame.
Definitely.
And that's the same. So I do respect I respect anyone that's going to put themselves out there and say, do you know what, I'll train you.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing it from a place of integrity, from a place of, I'm actually there to serve. And I truly believe in serve first. I ask my students. And my results are showing because of that mentality of serve first. And that comes from all of the training that I've done all over the world. I've worked under a mentor called Blair Singer, and he massively promotes serve before you sell. Serve, and then sell.
Kudos to you for that. I mean, okay, so would you ever be interested in doing a boxing match with any other property mentor or any other mentor for marketing or any other purposes? Pay attention, I've got some exciting news for you guys. I've launched a 7-day total free audio course for you guys, which is going to help you improve and elevate your mindset, and it's also going to help you in your business. All you have to do is go and sign up every single day, day 1 to day 7. You will receive a free 2-minute audio from me in my own words, in my voice, and what that will do is help you in your business and your mindset. Make sure you go and sign up and let me know how you find it.
I'm not bothered.
And if
I'm
you
not
do,
interested
do you want
in
to call them out?
No, it's not something I'm not into. Well, and I'm 41 years old, man. I'm not getting in a boxing ring. It's not something, to me, that's a marketing stunt. You know it is, I know it is, and you know it's rigged. I guarantee it's rigged. I guarantee it's rigged.
Yeah.
It's like
entertainment.
It's entertainment, but we know it's rigged. Of course it's rigged.
Yeah. Okay, you know, when you're looking for a partner in business, you're in business, what qualities should you look for in your partner?
Integrity, number one. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Okay.
Right. So, for instance, I've just done a joint venture with somebody where I'm basically investing £25,000 into their fitness business. Her name is Anna. It's going to be a massive launch coming soon, and we're setting up our business for her. So we're going to be setting up all the funnels, all the websites, all the marketing, everything from start to finish. We're even filming all of our content for her. She's one of my students. I'm basically funding 25k for that, and the reason being is because she's got massive integrity. How you do anything is how you do everything. And when I'm looking at a business partner, I'm looking at, one, do they show up on time?
Yeah.
You know, the amount of people that make meetings with me and show up late, and I'm like, where you been? Oh, sorry, man, I slept in. I've got a meeting in London tomorrow morning at 10:30 with 3 investors. These investors' combined wealth is about £1.5 million, right? That's how much they've got, and that's how much they've got to invest.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think I'm going to be late?
Never.
No, I'm going down tonight. And even if it costs me £500 in a hotel, I don't give a shit. I'm going down tonight. But here's the thing. Most people would go down tomorrow morning and then blame the trains for why they're late.
Or the traffic.
Or they'll blame something else that's not in their control why they're late. I'm going down in preparation today.
I was going to say preparation, right?
Preparation is key, yeah? Because I know that meeting's very valuable, and I know these guys have got 30 minutes to meet me, and I know they've got a lot of money to play with. So, of course, I'm going to be there on time. So, for me, how you do anything is how you do everything. I watch, yeah? When I get people message me and ask me to work with me, joint venture with me, co-source with me, do whatever. Firstly, I only do joint ventures and business deals with people that I've actually worked with before. So it's very difficult to do a joint venture with me if I've never heard of you.
Yeah.
And if I do, it's very rare. But if I do, I'll be looking at all your social medias. Like my team will, and not necessarily me. I'll have my team look into you. What type of character is he?
Yeah.
How does he comment on other people's posts? How does he portray himself online? If he's portraying himself as a little gangster out fucking partying all night and putting people down and slagging people off and being negative, why the heck would I want that in my life?
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's for me, it's just about massively integrity.
And I think for you as well, because you've got a lot of mentees that you work with, maybe you should just do joint ventures with them, right?
That's the rule I have. That is generally the rule I have. I'll only lend money to my mentees,
Yeah.
and I'll never borrow money from a mentee, but
Yeah.
I'll only lend money to a mentee.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. When I say mentee, I mean current mentee. Okay. So my academy is a 12-month process. If they're outside of the 12 months, they're not currently mentees, but they're still now friends.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've done joint ventures where we do 50-50. So I'm like I say, I'm lending money at the minute to Anna and businesses, but with me, it's always about integrity,
Yeah.
always. And I would rather lose money than work with the wrong person.
Okay, so when you first meet your mentees and
Yeah.
the first thing they say, remember at this point I'm talking about someone who's not even made 10K.
Yeah.
And they first say, "Oh, I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve people."
If they say that to me,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you say to them? What's your thought process and how do you respond to that?
It all depends on the conversation leading up, because I do get that a lot. I get a lot of people ask me to come and help at my events because the way they say, I know the only reason they're saying that, why do you think it is?
Why do you think? Tell me.
Free training. Because they want to come and be in the room and get free training. So they're not really there to help people, they're there to get help themselves. I know that. So I have a rule. The only people that can crew at my events are students. The only people that can attend my events in any capacity other than a delegate are people that have been to my events as delegates. And again, if you look at all you've got to do is look at my Trustpilot, look at all of my reviews. I think you'll find I'm the only property trainer in the whole of the UK that has got no bad reviews. And please Google me and find out. If you look at my Trustpilot, we've got 271 5-star and 1 4-star. And if you actually read to the reviews, you'll see it's all about integrity. It's all about great value. And the thing is, the Trustpilot, I mean, people are going to say, I had somebody say to me this last week, well, we all know how fake Trustpilot is. It's like, come on, man. It's their real names. Like, if you look, it says Trustpilot review from Sunida, right? You can take her name, put it into Facebook, message her on Facebook and ask her. Like, she's a real human being, and it's just crazy what people think, but it is what it is. So, like I say, we've got loads of good reviews. And the thing for me is when people say to me, look, I want to come and serve, I want to come and help, why? Right? If they're a student, that's fine, no problem. But if it's just some randomer I've never met, we might let them help somewhere, but it won't be at an event because I know they're there to try and learn, and they're not actually genuinely there to help you.
Yeah.
To be a delegate and doing all this sort of donkey work, leg work, and all that sort of stuff. Like I've got students, man, that are financially free, making loads of money, and they come to every single one of my events to run around with a microphone.
I've
got students. I've got a lady called Hillary. Hillary is a woman called Hillary Calderwood. She's from Canada.
Okay.
I taught her property. She's now got 7 properties. She's making about $7,000 a month. She's doing really well. She's been to every single one of my events, every single one, right? And she's been there in capacity as serving. Now, it might be she's there to be an assistant trainer to me, crew, logistics, setting up.
Whatever, yeah, she's there.
Whatever. I could say to these people, I can be on stage and I can be doing what I'm doing. I could say to these people, can you tidy all the empty cups up? Like there'll be coffee cups everywhere. They'll go around and they won't even question it. That to me is serve. Serve is when they go above and beyond and know the only reward for it is the fact that we recognize that they're helping. There's no financial gain. And I have it a lot where I get people message me asking me to come and crew at the events, and then the next breath is how much am I getting paid? Well, you ain't. You serve first.
Do you agree with where I think Grant Cardone says it, where he says that don't worry about serving first. Make your first 10K or make your first money. Help yourself first, then help others.
I agree with that statement, yeah. But I think you can do both. I do agree with that statement. You got just like the pilot says, planes land flying to ground. Right? It's on its way to Earth, and it's crashing. Yeah. Pilot says put your own mask on first. So I agree with that. I do agree with that to a point, but
in a different context. It depends on the context, right?
Like if you're going to give people money, then make money first. If you're going to mentor people, then make money first. If you're going to run around with a microphone, then does that matter?
That's different, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about everything's about context.
Context, isn't it? Yeah. Are you planning on becoming the biggest property mentor or business mentor in UK?
Yes.
Is that your plan?
100%.
Okay. Do you think that if you become the biggest, you can still be the best?
Yeah.
Okay.
Categorically.
How?
By having it. So I've been around when I've seen it I've been around, I've got a lot of experience in this industry, and I've been speaking on a lot of stages, I've got a lot of good mentors, and I've got a lot of good support networks around me. So for me, it's about sustainable growth. So as I bring in more students, I bring in bigger teams. You ask any of my students, I don't think any of them would have anything bad to say about my training company, because we offer the support, we offer the guidance, we offer the accountability, we offer the customer service. We respond to emails in a matter of hours. We've got no students that I believe who have asked for help are not getting the help. Now, we have got some students that have gone off radar, so to speak, but we're still calling them every couple of weeks and saying, hey man, we've not heard from you, and they're off radar. But you can't help everybody.
Yeah.
But all you can do is make sure you're available when they need the help.
Have good infrastructure in place.
Yeah,
and good
we've got the
service,
infrastructure. It's like anything. It's like, how does a business grow? A business grows by having the right teams in place, by having the right structure in place. And I make sure that our events, our training organization, our business is a business. It's a business there, 1, to make money, 2, to support and serve our community, 3, to be sustainable long term so we never have any problems. That doesn't mean we won't have a problem. That doesn't mean we will never have a complaint. But if we have a complaint, we deal with it in the right manner. We don't just leave them high by wire. Does that make sense?
It's how you deal with it, really, yeah?
I can't remember who it was that said this, but they said it's not the situation, it's how you deal with the situation. So you can have a complaint in your life, in your business, that's fine. But how do you handle it? And that's where people get annoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. How do you set your goals in business? Do you do it like over a 12-month, or do you have like a 5-year plan or 2-year plan?
Do you know, I've just taken on another mentor in the UK. And he's mentoring me, and he's miles in front of me. He's been running events, massive events now for 20 years.
Okay.
He's a very charismatic guy, and he sent me a vision board. Now, I'm not ashamed to say it's the first time I've ever done one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've never done one before. And I actually done a vision board for the next 5 years, and I've never done it before, but I've done it the other day. And he actually sent me one in the post, put it on my wall, and I put it out there, and I set a vision board. And how do I set my goals? You know, my goals are not necessarily monetary. Like, some people have goals and it's like, oh, I want to make this, I want to make that, I want to make that. They're not necessarily monetary for me. Like, I want to make sure, for me, I've got goals about success, I've got goals about my family, I've got goals about like fancy things like cars and things like that. Yeah, we've all got them. But it's not about having cash in the bank. One of my biggest goals is to serve as many people as possible. So by the time I get to, where we're now, we're 2023, 2025, I want to run an annual event to 3,000 or 4,000 people.
So you're having impact, basically.
Impact. I want to be known. Do you know what I want to be known? Well, firstly, I want my children. I've got 2 girls, Isabel and Yasmin, right? Isabel's 16, Yasmin's 23. And I want to be known. I want them to know. I want them to look at me and be fucking proud of what I've achieved. And I don't give them anything easily. Like, trust me on this. But I want them to look at me and when they see me on social media, when they see me on this, when they see me on like radio stations, I want them to look at me and think, that's my dad, and I'm proud of that. Yeah. That's what I want. I want that legacy. I want that impact. And that's worth more to me than money.
Yeah.
Because I believe that when you give the student what they want, you will get what you want. So if my goal is to become a multi-billionaire, whatever, right? I know that if I serve enough people with integrity, with the right direction, with the right training, with the right value, I know I'll get there. But I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the student. Does that make sense?
Are you bringing you mentioned your daughters, are they part of your family business, or?
They're not directly
doing separate things?
Yeah, they're not directly involved in the business. Yeah, no, they're not directly involved in the business, no.
Okay.
Because they're doing their own thing. So Isabel's at school, she's in her last year of school. She wants to go and do psychology, and Yasmin's a solicitor. So she's doing really well.
Different fields, yeah?
Yeah, different fields, yeah.
Nice.
She was a property conveyancer, but she hated it. So she's gone to like the law side of things now.
Okay, interesting. So what's your purpose in life, and how did you find it?
Do you know, that changes constantly.
Interesting.
It is very interesting, but my purpose, right, do you know, it always comes back to I'll give you a photograph of this, and maybe you can put it up in a minute, right? Last week I was out with one of my students in Bedfordshire, where I'm from, and I took him to my first ever business premises. And I was a bus and coach mechanic. I used to physically get filthy out every single day fixing buses and coaches. And I took him to my first ever workshop, and it's this tin shed on a farm in the middle of Bedfordshire, freezing cold, covered in mud everywhere, and I took him there. And when I was there in 2006, 2007, I remember watching a infomercial. Like I used to buy all the info products and info CDs, and I was always doing learning and training on how I can make more money and how I can get more creative. And I bought a DVD package from a guy called Armand Morin. He's an American marketer, and he's made a lot of money over his time, but he specializes in speaking on stage, selling at a room, and selling information products. And I remember buying his product, and I remember watching him on stage thinking, actually, he ain't that good. He ain't that good on stage. He's not charismatic, he's not funny, he's not like charming. He's really fucking boring, right? And I don't know why, but I thought, I want to be up there. I thought, I want to do that, right? But this was back in 2006, 2007, when I was very shy, lacked a lot of confidence. I didn't know how I was going to get there. And in 2018, I actually spoke on the same stage as Armand. So I went full circle. So I was once a student, then I was on the same stage as him, which was a big thing for me because I thought, I made it. I made what I wanted to do. And like,
so it changes, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does. Like, I just want to impact people. I really want to help people.
I've
got a big thing about mental health and depression. I've got a big thing about men and mental health because, as men, we're hard boys. We're not allowed to show that. And I want to try and help that. I want to try and sort that. I can't do a lot. I can do a little bit, but I can do my little bit. That's all it's about. And I can tell you now, when I speak at an event, I give it everything I've got. I've got a 4-day event I do called Tell the World. Tell the World is a 4-day personal development training event. I'd love to gift you a ticket. Come. Right? You can come along, gift. It's free, completely free of charge, right? Because I want you to experience it before you talk about it.
Okay.
Right? And it's 4 days of PD, personal development, and it teaches people how to get confident in front of camera, confident in front of yourself, confident in front of your family, confident in front of small groups, do a little small presentation, but overcome your limiting beliefs. And that is, like, I love that event.
Yeah.
But after 4 days, I am wrecked for 2 days because You're
giving like 1,000%.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, massively. But yeah, come, man, it's in June.
Yeah.
I'll get my team to send you a ticket.
No problem, thank you. When you're stressed and when you're having them dark times, them down times, what do you do in them moments to elevate yourself?
I've just been advised by my my doctor that I'm stressed. I'm too stressed.
Okay.
So my stress levels are at 47% at the minute. Right now, people watching this will be like, "Whoa, you're making all this money. Why are you so stressed?" Well, that gives you a lot more responsibility.
Of course.
Do you know when you're making money, that gives you a lot. I sometimes I would love to go back to earning 30 grand a year, because that's no stress to me. When I get people say to me, and I don't take this the wrong way, camera people and all that sort of stuff, but when I go back, when I get people come to me and they're in a 9-to-5 job and I'm stressed, I'm like, you ain't got no fucking idea, mate. Try running 4 businesses. Try having a 20 grand a month wage bill. Like, like that's stress. Like, and so I go to. I've got people that I work with, and they've done a stress test on me a couple weeks ago. My level was 47%. Right? I don't know on what scale that is, but they were worried about it first. They said they've not seen anything that high for many years, and if I was any older, they'd be rushing me to hospital. So how do I get over that stress? You know, sometimes I just like to go away and be on my own for a couple of days.
Like you've come Manchester.
Yeah. So I'm on my own for a couple of days, and it's not about I don't want to be with my partner. It's not about that. It's not about I don't want to be at home. Just sometimes I love being on the road. I love just getting in my car and just driving, even with no destination in mind, just driving. I put on a couple of audiobooks. I sometimes have nothing on and just drive and I think. And like some of my best ideas have come to me when I've been driving. When I've been driving over the Pennines, driving up to Scotland, driving round the north of Scotland. And I guess that's the luxury that's afforded me by my business success, because I can do that. Some people, when you're stressed, you've got that 9-to-5 job, you've got that stress of having to be somewhere. But for me, it's like, if I want to do something, I'm doing it. Nobody's going to stop me. It's like now, if I wanted to go to America, I would go to the airport right now and go to America. Nothing's stopping me. And sometimes I need that. And if you speak to my team, I've got a really good team around me as well. And they know when I'm getting a bit. See, I'm like I'm like a bomb, right? I build, and then I blow once every couple of months, right? Not necessarily at anybody, but just like, it's like that release sometimes. It's like, and unfortunately I did blow up at my staff a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's nothing they've done. It's because I've got such a drive for perfection in my business. When I see sometimes little things going wrong, I don't get it. And it's like, and I have to sometimes chill myself out a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
And I expect everyone that works with me to have that same passion.
Interesting.
Which often is not the case. But
Maybe I think health and well-being is big. And I
I
think
need to take it more seriously. I know I do.
Especially if you're a high-performance coach, because you're performing at a high level all the time. I think health and well-being, bring it, invest in it.
One of the things that I just mentioned earlier, I've taken on a new mentor and I'm working with him at the minute, and they've got me really thinking about my diary and thinking about how I plan my day. And my important stuff's in a diary. So in my head, and I'm also listening to Atomic Habits at the minute, which is a great book, and it talks about actually diarising what you're going to do. So, for instance, if you say you're going to go to the gym or go for a walk or whatever, put it in your diary, because then it's an event. Then it's an actual occurrence that has to happen. Because if I just say I'm going to go for a walk and, I don't know, go for a 3-hour walk or an hour walk, you know it's not going to happen because something else is going to come on which is more important. Whereas if I treat it like an event, then I'll probably get better results. So I've made a commitment that I am going to start taking that a little bit more, but I've got to do a bit at a time. I can't go like.
I'll check
crazy.
in with you in 12 months to make sure to see where you are.
Come on, please.
Yeah,
it's funny because I've got lots of students that are in the fitness world, and they're all like, "Oh, we need to we need to help you with that."
I think it's just basics. Even if you understand macros, and then if you start doing basics, and that's where you start. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, final few questions, and then we're pretty much done. Are you religious at all?
For me, it's a touchy subject. Not a touchy subject, but it's a subject that I believe in proof.
Okay.
If you can prove it to me, I'll believe it. Now, I know how bad that sounds because religion is about faith. So you got to believe that it's there. Now, Samuel once said to me, he said, because I said the same thing to him, because Sam was very religious, and I said the same thing to him. I said, prove it to me, right? And we were actually at his house, and he's got a big hot tub, and he goes, that's a man-made pool. He goes, the ocean, God made that. And that made me start thinking, God, whoever you deem your God to be, that made me start thinking about, actually, that's not a bad way to look at it. How did that happen? So look, do I believe there's something I'm going to offend somebody. Do I believe something's out there? Yes, I do. What? I don't know. I believe if you want to be religious and if you have faith in your God, all credit to you. I wish I had that faith. But I take my hat off to anybody that has religion in their life, because whoever your God may be, as long as you believe in that, and as long as you have faith in that, and as long as you're honourable to that, I take my hat off to you. I wish maybe I was a little bit more like that, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're on your own journey. Everyone's on their own journey. Do you know what I mean? Financial literacy. How important do you think that is in an entrepreneur or even a normal person's journey?
It's more crucial than algebra. It's more crucial than maths. It's more crucial than science. I believe it's the most crucial thing that you can learn. And it's interesting. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and they were talking about the private schools in London, around Eton and all these private schools. You know, they all teach financial literacy. So even to the youngsters, they teach financial education.
Wow.
But the public schools don't teach it.
Why?
Now, well, because they're creating workers. They're not creating entrepreneurs. So if you go to the private schools, the more academic private schools, they're teaching the business leaders. So business leaders need to know financial literacy. They need to understand money. They need to understand what's so important about money and how to create money, compounding interest, all that side of things. Whereas, let's say the people that go to normal schools, like state schools, they're not getting sort of bred to be business owners. They're getting bred to go to 9 to 5s, go to offices, go to workers, by the people that are at Eton. That's the thing. So I believe it's super crucial. And I remember years ago, right? Like many people watching this, the first book they probably read to get them involved in property or finance was Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've been very fortunate that I've been to like a very intimate dinner with Robert Kiyosaki twice now. And the first time we were at a place in Sandton in South Africa, and there was probably about 20 people there, and there was 2 or 3 tables of 7 or 8, and then he'd done a small presentation. Then he come round and he sat everyone to everyone's table and he had a conversation with everybody. Just like, I only got maybe 3 or 4 minutes chat with them and things like that. It wasn't like, we weren't like best mates going for the pub, right? It was very much just a chat, and listening to how he sees money is a very different way to how most people see money. And I want to be like that. And one of the things I've never been about money is, I'm not emotional about money in any way, shape, or form. Like, even when I was broke, I was never emotional about money.
Still not right.
Never, no. And if you ask my wife, right, Lisa, like, she'll tell you, like, I used to drive her potty because if we went out for dinner, I'd pay for everyone.
Yeah.
Because I believe in abundance. I believe that if I give more, I'll get more.
Yeah.
And even when I was broke, I would like take you out for dinner and I'll pay for it. I wouldn't even question it, right? I'd always want to help people. And even now, like, I do so much for my students, and like from a point of like, I've got a student at the minute who, due to the current economy and the current, there's some rules in place that it means he can't transfer money from where he lives, so where he was born and brought up, to the UK there's a lot of sanctions in place. He can't transfer money. I'm about to lend him 10 grand just because I don't want him. I know he's got plenty of money, but I also know he's suffering a lot at the minute because he can't move money across. So we're going to give him 10 grand just to help him out, and there's not interest in that. It's just because I want to help. I'm not emotional about money.
Yeah.
It makes no difference to me. I could lose 30 grand today. I wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
Because my money mind, I'll make more money.
Yeah.
And that's not me criticizing people that don't know how to make it, but my question to you is, why don't you learn how to make it? Instead of going to school to learn a drama or to learn how to do mediocre jobs that will only ever make you 25, 30 grand a year, why don't you go to your private education and learn how to actually make money through business, through property, through whatever your vehicle is.
Yeah.
Learn how to generate money. When
Yeah.
you learn how to generate money, you'll never have a lack of it in your life, because trust me, there's money out there. There's money everywhere. You just got to know where to find it.
Yeah, and you've got to know how it works, right? But you're at
Yeah.
this stage, and people need to really start from basics, really, don't they?
I just want to clarify, I'm not frivolous with money. I respect money. I'm just not emotional with money.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a big difference. I really want you to make that. I don't want people thinking I'm reckless with money. I'm not reckless with money.
What's your passions? Do you I have seen you drive some cars, or you go on tracks?
Yeah, so I do a lot of kart racing, go-kart racing. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm getting a bit old for it now because it hurts more when I crash. But I've still got multiple karts, and I go out a couple of times a year. But I'm now a fair weather driver. I only race when it's sunny. I don't race in the winter.
Okay, so that's a summer thing.
Summer thing for me. But I've got a few things that I do. So I love kart racing and motorsport. One of my things this year is I want to go to a couple of Formula 1 races, but I want to have like proper high-end access to the pit lane and all that sort of stuff. So,
Okay.
But they're like
Bucket list goals.
Yeah. It's like, so one of my targets. So I've got a target this year of, I've got some financial targets on a monthly basis, and if I hit them targets, which I'm already like a month and a half in front of them targets. So as soon as I get to the target I want to hit, I'm buying myself a McLaren, and I've already found it, and I've already spoke to the guys about it. So I'm buying a McLaren, and then I want to go to like the Silverstone Grand Prix this year. I want to go to a European Grand Prix, but I want to pay for like pit lane access, and they're like $5,000 to $10,000 or
You're
euros.
experience the bet.
Yeah, it's experience. And then I also play poker, so I play.
Oh, do you play poker?
Yeah, I play poker to quite well. Not so much recently, but I used to play to quite decent levels. And I go out to Vegas. I've been out to Vegas 8 times now playing poker.
Is that what you play?
And I love it. And another big goal for me is I want to enter the World Series of poker, which is I'm not win. I'll get nowhere, but I still want to go and do it just to say I've done it.
I've entered it, yeah.
But the entry for that's like 10,000. So
Is it?
I want to go and do that. But like even so, like every month I hold a property poker game in my house. It's only like 20 people come, but it's just a laugh. It's just all property people get around, 20 quid in. It's just easy. It's more about networking and having laugh. But they're the things that I do to get away from work for a little while.
Okay. How important is family to you?
Massive. Everything, like family for me is everything. Now, it's everything for me. My girls, they're everything to me, absolutely everything, because why I'm doing what I'm doing is for them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to, like, listen, I make money, right? I don't need the money I make, right? So, like, me and my wife, Lisa, we're buying, well, me and my wife are not together anymore, but we believe that...
Co-parenting?
Yeah, co-parenting. We're very much, we're not together at the minute, but we're very much like...
You're close.
100%. In the sense of, our kids are everything to us. We're buying properties together. We're doing whatever we've got to do together. We're buying a block of flats this week, and that's not for me. That's not for Lisa. It's for the girls. So when we're no longer here, they've got assets that they can fall back on. And I want my girls to know, and I've got problems with my girls at the minute. Like my youngest, Isabel, is 16. She's lacking a lot of motivation at the minute, just because I suppose she's that age. But I want my girls to know that no matter what they want in life, they can do it. I don't care what it is. If they want to be, if Yasmin wants to go into the High Court in America and do whatever she wants to do, she can do it. If Isabel wants to be the best psychologist in the world, she can do it. If they want to become multi-millionaires, they can do it. And there's nothing, I will do anything for them. Anything, absolutely. And so for me, family is everything. I don't have a big family because a lot of my distant sort of cousins and that I don't really speak to anymore. I don't really see them. So for me, it's about immediate family. My girls, really.
Interesting. Alasdair, any final messages you want to share with any young'uns or anybody out there watching?
For me, right, do you know, I'm 41, right? And I've been in business since 22. The biggest problem I've got at the minute, right, with students is at the minute the markets are tough. There's no denying the markets are tough. You do not get to a smooth luxury life like that. It's not going to happen. It's going to take years of determination, years of resentment, resenting yourself for even leaving your job. It's going to take years and years and years of hard work to get where you want to get to. That doesn't mean you can't move forward step by step, but incremental change, 1 degree at a time, 1% a day, right? The reality is this, right? If you're going to quit the minute times get tough, don't start. That's the reality. But what I would advise you to do right now is do 1% a day. Do something every day which moves you towards your end goal, because in a year's time, you're going to be very, very different. The biggest problem I've got at the minute is I've got a couple of students that they're so eager to make money, but they're not allowing the apprenticeship to take place. They want to do the program, do the training, get the first result. But yet, when they get rejection, it batters them to the floor. And I was speaking to Ellen McDonald yesterday. She's now got very successful. She's doing really, really good deals, making a lot of money. But it took months and months and months and months and months of building rapport with agents. Like going into agencies every day, building rapport, getting rejected, and not quitting. Right? You only fail when you quit. If you don't get back up, don't start. Like, the reality is this: if you want to be successful, you've got to get your ass out of bed, you've got to get on with it, you've got to deal with the times, you've got to deal when times are hard, and you've just got to fucking do it. No quitting, no excuses. And I say to all my students, you can have excuses or results. You choose.
Nice. I think that was really, really good. You know what is your favorite strategy in property, by the way? Hey YouTube, I'm really sorry to cut you off, but I have to share this with you. I want you to get to your next level, and I believe that personal development is the gateway to success. So what I've done is I've gone and created a 7-day free audio course. This is totally free. All you have to do is sign up, and from day 1 till day 7, every single day you will receive a 2-minute audio from me, which will elevate your mindset and give you power in your business. Make sure you go and sign up and let me know how you find it.
Buy refurb. I love buy refurb. So the way I teach my students is, a lot of my students come to me, they've not got loads of money, might have less than 10K, right? So I teach property sourcing as a way to generate cash.
Cash flow, yeah.
Generate cash quite quickly. Utilize that cash, maybe get a couple of rent-to-rent deals, legitimate legal rent-to-rent deals to generate more cash. And then as you're building cash, get your first buy refurb refinance deal. But the buy refurb is slow money. It's not fast money. Property sourcing is fast money. I can teach you how to do property sourcing, and within 90 days you can be doing your first deal. Christ, I can even give you the investors to sell the deals too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm working with a big database of investors. Like, one of the reasons what makes my training different to other people's training is we actually give completion. And what I mean by that is we give the whole picture. So we give the training, we give the mentoring, the support, the guidance, but we also give the exit for you to make money. And that means you can come to my training, do all my training, and then we will help you sell the deal to my investors. And it means you get all your money back very quickly, and it also means that you're actually seeing results quickly.
Yeah.
When you get results, it gives you more motivation to go out and do it.
Interesting. That was fire. Thank you for coming on.
Anytime, man.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you.
But yeah, man, it's awesome. Cool.
That was cool.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you very much.